to strap in and get ready. The leaders in NRL SuperCoach are incoming. Bringing you the ultimate insight to help you win your leagues and climb up the rankings. You're now listening to the Insight NRL Show with your hosts, Brain, Mattrix, and Whisperer.
G'day everybody, welcome back to the Insight NRL Show. You're watching the round 21 NRL SuperCoach preview show. Teams are running very thin on trades right now as we lose another top two 2RF options for the run home. You're watching, you got the full team on deck tonight, of course, Mattrix, Whisperer and myself. Matty, how are you, mate? How's your week been? You've celebrated your little man's first birthday. How was that?
Oh, I tell you what. Do not go and buy a kitchen set. I started with this little kid's toy kitchen to make. Started at 8:30. At about 11 o'clock, I realised I put the hinges on wrong on the doors. So I had to go back about 2 hours before. Only took me an hour that second time to go back and rearrange the hinges. Finished about 1:30. I watched about 6 or 7 episodes of Welcome to Wrexham while I was doing it. And then I was tired all through the birthday. I couldn't enjoy it, so it was good. You've done all right.
It's those IKEA flat pack style anything. And I feel like every single kid thing that I've bought has been some sort of flat pack that I've had to put together. It's an absolute stitch up. Josh, you don't have to worry about flat packs, mate. You don't have to worry about kids' first birthdays either. How you been?
I'm smart and I just pay someone to come build it for me on Airtasker. So if I can introduce you to that, then do that. It saves you sanity.
Oh, sorry. You don't have any money if you have kids.
Oh,
it's true.
I don't have any without kids as well. I don't have any without kids either. So. Nah, boys, I'm good. EPL opened up this week, so that is the time for me to not give a fuck about SuperCoach anymore. So it's that point of the calendar. I circle it every year. Oh, FPL app opens up. Okay, cool. SuperCoach interest is over. I thought I was going to have an off season, but SuperCoach have also just released an EPL game, and there is some talk within Insight Fantasy HQ that we're doing content, and I guarantee you it's not going to be you or Mattrix that are doing it. So I might not be having an off season.
Is Steven Gerrard still playing?
Yeah,
couldn't do any worse.
That's
Did you not hear that? Did you not hear that I watched Welcome to Wrexham? You scrub.
Yeah, big up the Red Dragons.
There could be EPL SuperCoach, whatever you want to call it. I mean, I'm interested to see how it's all structured, but it's good that they've got it.
This is a great segue because I know you guys have been putting a lot of effort into it. Chris Gray wants to know: do we do NBA fantasy?
Of course we do.
Yep.
We've just started to gear up for the fantasy season again. It'll be season 3 for Insight NBA. We've just rebranded the podcast as well, called Ball Logic, which is cool. So go over and give us a follow on Instagram and X and all that kind of stuff. We've got about probably 10 to 12 weeks of a preseason or pretty close to it coming up. So that'll probably kick off in the next, fortnight, Matty?
Yeah, and it's probably worth mentioning that in Season 1, I was in there, and then we got railroaded by NBL coming in. But Braino and I are coming back for Season 3 for Ball Logic, and there'll be Mick from the AFL show, and it's all going to be happening.
Yeah, they don't call it a comeback, so to speak. But we chipped in round 1, in year 1, and we're back for year 3, so it should be good. But we are here to talk NRL SuperCoach, of course. We see there's some teams in the chat that are saying that they've got 9 trades. 9 trades is great. I've got 6 before trades this week. I'll end up with 4 after. How are you guys looking for trades? Josh, where are you at?
Less than that.
I
got 5 before trades, but I think you and I might end up on the same after this week.
Yeah, so you're potentially making 1. I'll probably make 2, Matty. Where are you at?
I'm at 7, and I will have 5 or 6 this week.
Nice.
I'm still on the fence a little
5.
bit.
It's absolutely going to be 5 for sure.
You can't die with them.
No, you can't. You can't. They don't carry over to next year. You've got to use them, that's for sure. And I think we have no problem using those trades. I'd say probably in the next 4 to 5 weeks. So hopefully we can get some good injury luck. We haven't had it so far. Guys, thanks for watching. Of course, we are live, so hit subscribe and like if you can. We're going to be doing something like last week. We asked for 100 likes last week. You guys smashed it out of the park with about 170. And we gave you our Podwatch article for free in the Patreon last week. We're going to up the ante, though, this week. Last week we asked for 100. This week we're going to ask for 200. You can do it. It's only 30 more than last week. And we're going to release our whole buy, hold, sell video, about 20-odd minutes of our buys, holds, and sells, as it says in the title. So you can see where our heads are at and what we're thinking for this week. So 200 likes, you guys get that tomorrow for free. Also, we're going to do a bit of a giveaway for the end of the season. It is the run home. So we're going to be giving away a Patreon subscription for the rest of this NRL season to the person who gets the closest guess, Josh, in the comments of the top scorer for this week in NRL SuperCoach.
Yes, not the live chat. So we've got a heap of watchers right now, not the live chat. In like the watch back in the VOD YouTube comment section, comment who you think will score the highest points and what their scores will be. Let's say there's 10 people that say Cleary and he scores 112 and that's the top score. Or what a shit week that is, fuck from SuperCoach. But whoever's closest to 112 will give them a Patreon subscription for the rest of the year, all their articles, all their videos, and we'll do that basically for the last 8 weeks of the season. So
yeah. So
if you win it in round 27, we'll look after you for like a month or something next season. But yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it for the rest. But just like this, not in the live chat because this will not count because it doesn't come up and we got nowhere to verify it. So do it just in the regular comments. Yeah,
the reason why we say not in the live chat is because we can't see it after the video's done. So go over, there should be a little tab there that says live chat or super or top chat or something like that, or comments. You can just go and slide over into the comment section so that we can see it, or just wait until the episode's ended and then come and put your guess in once we're completed the live here tonight.
In saying that, if this does happen, I'll gift Sarge Bear. If Brayley gets 171, I'll gift you out of my own pocket.
Yeah, legit. 100%. I'll be very, very happy with a Break Bravery 171. That's for sure. Also, there is a poll. You will be able to see it if you are not on, if you're on PC, not on mobile. I don't think they have the mobile section. Maybe they do, but there is a vote. I will be, I'm a man of my word. I will buy the person that gets the highest votes out of these 4 players. So at the moment, we've got your choices to vote on are Carrigan, Huddy Young, Yo, and Hamoli. At the moment, Huddy Young is leading the vote with 34% after 35 votes. So get those votes in, hop on a PC and jump it in, and I will buy the person that gets the most votes in this episode. So bit going on. And we thought, you know what, you need to pad the show out because at the end of the year, there is really not a ton to talk about.
Oh, I'll tell you what, bad day to be our script in round 27. None of us have trades.
Oh, it's going to be rotten. They're like start, sit. But I'm sure there'll be people coming in with boosts in round 27 that haven't played for 14 weeks. So they'll have fun.
The team of the week's going to win with 12 people in round 27.
Yeah. I mean, we remember, what was it, 2 years ago where the guy that was in first ended up finishing 15th with all the injury and resting turmoil. Yeah. So anything can happen in round 27, that's for sure.
Anti-Stephen Bradbury, he was flying and it was out of trades.
Yeah, he was everybody else bar Stephen Bradbury in that run home. Guys, on tonight's show, we've got the squeeze of the week. We'll hand that on over to Matty, as we always do, top scorer in the Unlimited League. We're going to talk through our top key-on replacements as well, or maybe it's a Tino replacement, maybe it's a Dylan Lucas replacement. Whoever it is, we're going to talk through the 2 RF options that you have this week to bring in. We have 11 that we're going to be talking through, whether you like to go poddish or whether you want the base stat beasts, the high upside guys. We're going to go through all of them today. We're also going to talk about the trade trends, the top 10 most bought and sold players in round 21. And we're going to cover captains as we always do every single week. So, Matty, probably should throw over to you, mate. Who won the squeeze of the week?
Look, the top score for round 20 was Luke, coach of Unknown. And can I say that is a lame as fuck name, but not a lame as fuck score. 1553. He had Brayley, he had May, he had Hosking, he had Strange, he had Lomax, he had Jed Stewart. Obviously a little bit of a Canberra Raiders fan there. They all went 90 plus, and he had the captaincy on our Lord and Saviour, Dylan Edwards. Hop into our DMs on socials and claim your prize. Justin, coach of Just to All Good, continues to lead the league. He's still in third overall, and he's only 89 points away from first. So I reckon one good captaincy, and Justin could be just top or good.
Do we get like a commission out of that if he wins?
Yeah. I'm sure we've contributed heaps from like 10,000.
It's who not to buy. So like that's sometimes even better than who to buy.
Mm-hmm. It's funny, isn't it, how Supercoaches are just the currency is how good you are. It doesn't matter about the advice you give throughout the year. It's always about how you finish and how your team finishes. So, we're stitched up. That's for sure. All right, let's have a chat about I'd say hot topics, but it's just hot topic this week. All right, 11 2RFs. Obviously, if you have duels, maybe let's get this out of the way first of all, Josh. If people have duels and they can get a centre wing in, are you preferring that option to go in that direction for a centre wing as opposed to a 2RF?
Yeah, look, with all due respect to Pat Carrigan, if we're talking about him as like the top option, probably look anywhere else. If you can get a centre wing, get one. If you can get a Parramatta winger, get them. Whether it's Adokar or Lomax, either one.
It feels like it, doesn't it? It's Adokar at this time of the year. It's Alex Johnston. Khan Pereira's been dropped, but usually it's him. It's those guys that'll get you 110 or 10. So that's always a fun ride home.
I owned Adokar last year for like the run home. He averaged about 90, it saved a very poor year.
And he was actually quite good, wasn't he, on the run home? So that was handy. It's always fun when you ride a really high upside guy on the run home.
Oh, and you get them high? It's miserable when you get them on the low. Trust me, I bought Ronaldo Militalo for a 20. No, but in all seriousness, like Lomax probably is the number one option for Keelan if you don't have them. But even still, like there's plenty of centre wings that we would rather. There is one 2RF that I'm super, super keen on that we'll talk about a bit more at length. But yeah, Lomax is the most obvious.
Let's have a chat. Of course, my poll's still up. There's 4 options there. We've got 11 on this list. First one's Huddy Young. He is let's call him the second most owned out of this list. 33.7% owned in the top 10% of teams, but he is the most purchased 2RF this week. 9.4% of the top 10% are buying him this week. What are your thoughts, Matty, on Huddy Young? I mean, there's some concerns around injury. There's around 24 bye to manage, but the Raiders draw is so nice that I'm assuming that's probably the driving factor behind this purchase.
Yeah, and it is so nice. And like when I had a look at where they are on the ladder, they do still need to win games. They're looking to keep that spot. Hudson Young is the leader out there. The Bulldogs breathing down their neck. The Storm will be breathing down their neck. Honestly, they need to keep winning games. And Hudson Young's. Is he the captain? He's the driving force out there. There's a reason that he's 33% owned, and there's a reason he's 700K because he has been probably the best 2RF all year. So, go on.
Oh, no, I was just going to say he's been red hot up until round 14 and had a couple of quiet ones managing that injury. So I guess maybe that's the one thing to talk about. Like, managing an injury, osteitis pubis isn't something that goes away overnight. Seems like it's going to be something that's going to manage for multiple weeks. He's had it now, Josh, for a month to 5 weeks? I think he's been managing it already. Like, do we have any news or any word on whether this is something that's going to ease up? Or
I don't know. Old Kez G in the chat saying he's hearing this may be Ethan Strange sources happening here, but he's hearing Hudson Young's injuries hampering him more than what we think. I haven't heard anything, but if that is true, then wheels down. The only sticking, Huddy come out last week, scored 1 million points in BP, which is unreal. The only downside is, I believe it's the round 25 bye, which is first week of head-to-head final, or second week of head-to-head final, depending on how your matchups is. It's first or second week of head-to-head finals, which is not ideal if you're having a 750k guy sitting on the pine in a pretty crucial week. But if you've got plenty of cover, then he's probably the guy, barring fitness. Like if old Kez is to be believed in the chat, then great. But the draw is like relatively good as well. They have to keep winning, but it's just that round 25 bye that's a little bit gross moving forward. But yeah, like the Knights this week, Dragons next week, Seagulls the week after that, and then a bye in 24. Into Penrith, which is not ideal in 25, but then the Tigers and the Dolphins in grand final and penultimate weeks for Supercoach as well. So yeah, quite good.
Yeah, Kez just qualifying this in the chat, spoke to a guy who's live at the Canberra game and Huddy was getting worked on a lot. Lateral movement wasn't there. Look, yeah, I mean, he still played 80 minutes, which is positive. So I guess like if they were overly concerned about that, they'd probably pull him early. In saying that, I guess Newcastle isn't exactly the greatest matchup either, right? Like they've been pretty good defensively as well. We can't just go and write them off and say because they're an ordinary team and can't score points, it doesn't mean that they're a bad defensive team. Bit of a trap game type vibes there for the Raiders, I think, against the Knights this weekend because they put together some decent games.
Also up against West Tigers future legend, Kai Pierce-Paul, which is not a great defensive matchup. Like he's quite solid. Fletcher Hunt would be the center as well. So yeah, not the best matchup on paper, but certainly not the worst.
I don't know whether you agree with me, Matty, but I would not be putting Hudson Young at the top of this priority list this week.
No, it's Paddy Carrigan. Go
on.
All right.
Look,
I think back to mid-February when one SC Mattrix would always tell us three things. It's not what you spend, it's what you save. Dylan Lucas value line as centre wing. And also, I'm not going to be owning Broncos this year.
I'm not going to be owning any of these guys. I'm going to be using them to get a centre wing in. But for the sake of the hot topics segment, is there anyone hotter than Patrick Carrigan on this list? Supercoach score-wise or real life? And
I was going to say, looks-wise, he's top of the list.
Like, I mean, like he's been like averaging like, honestly, 69 for the year. Looks really good in front row forward. Back at lock. Looks unreal at the moment. Like, I know that some of you guys are chasing the upside in some of these picks, but look, with the way that 2RF's been going, I think Paddy is the best value out of any of these guys on this list.
Throwback to pre-season. Jamie Camilleri. It's just what he says in the tin. Yeah, that's what you get. With Pat Carrigan, if Payne Haas is like going to be managed for the rest of the season, you would expect Carrigan as the big beneficiary of that. I think he's averaging like 68 or something like that without Payne Haas being hindered. You would imagine that's sitting in the low 70s if Payne Haas is to be out. We've seen he's got the motor to do it, so yeah, quite keen on Carrigan. But boys, I think there's just one man better. And it's Hamole Olakawatu, 660K, still 7.2%, which is up 4.5% this week. I think we can all agree he is the best 2RF to have without context. The big thing with him is this ongoing shoulder surgery that will be needed in the off-season, and he is always going to be of an injury risk until the season is completed. And the fear with Molly Olakawatu is you get to around 24, you get to around 25, he takes a bad fall, he's out for the season, you've got no trades to fix it. On the flip side, it's probably one of the best head-to-head finals draws you can have for a center wing or a 2RF. We know the upside that he's got. I think he's had 6 scores over 80, 5 scores below 50, so the floor is definitely not as good as Carrigan's. But Manly are coming into a really, really nice run of games in the next couple of weeks. And it feels like he might be the one that gets away if you don't jump on him now. You might get to around 24 and have no trades, and Hamole's starting to hit form, and you have to let him go.
Yeah, he's the high upside, high ceiling guy that can win you a week, guy that can win you a tough matchup kind of guy. But also he's the guy that can let you down pretty immensely. There's no middle ground there. He's not going to be that big BP guy that's going to get you 77 every single week like a Carrigan or a Yo or even Huddy Young's been good BP wise, and he's not an Aaron Clark. Like you said, there's a big variance there with his scores. What's his COV this year? 37%, which is on the high end at 2RF. 41 in base. So yeah, it's like you're not picking him because you're hoping that he bashes out 67 in BP. You're picking him because you want 110 with him scoring a try and decimating left edge defense. So for me, I probably agree with you. I think he is the number one pick. It's just what's your
without context, and that's the people in the chat blowing up because of the injury. And yeah, go.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, yeah, I get it. And look, it's great that we can play devil's advocate here. But have we had a look at the matchups and stuff for Hamole? Like, what's he got? Melbourne into the Dogs, into Sydney, into Canberra. and then it gets quite good with the Tigers, Dolphins, St. George.
That's what I was saying. Like it feels like a now thing because I do worry that when that draw opens up, people do run out of trades and they won't be able to get on him. I think you just have to be okay with a month of poor scores. But I think the upside is absolutely tremendous. The injury risk is quite high. But talking with physio, the injury risk is high this week. The injury risk is high in round 27. It's not going to get any better and it's not going to get any worse. If it gets worse, he's out. So it's a case of like just putting up with it, gritting your teeth and going for the best. If Patrick Carrigan is going to the casino and betting red, Aaron Clark's going to the casino and betting black, Hamoli is definitely betting green, just going straight zero on the roulette table and hoping for the best. It's a bit of a 50-50 call with all the other lot, Huddy, Pat Carrigan, Clark, but he's the X factor. I think we can all agree he's the genuine league winner out of this list.
I agree. He's also the genuine league loser.
Of course.
So there's no way about it. He's not going to coast through. You've got to take her. If you're down and you feel like maybe your team isn't as good as it can be, he's a guy that probably I'd be targeting. If you're feeling a little bit backwards on your team in the head-to-head finals, or you're looking at a matchup and going, I don't know whether I can win this matchup, Hamoli's the guy that can win you the matchup. It just depends on how much you also value your rank and how many trades you have left. If you've got like fucking 8+ trades, I reckon I'd feel okay about doing it, knowing that I could probably have enough trades to trade him out in round 25 if it happens. But if you've got 4 at the end of this week, like potentially most of us, it's a risk that you've got to be okay with, knowing that if he goes down, you probably can't move him on.
I think if you have 8, I'd just wait personally. I'd wait until 25. I'd wait until 24, 25. But if you're in our shoes with 4, you either have to be prepared to burn that trade completely with him being out for the season, or the flip side, I think you just don't get him again.
It's true. So there's been a couple of questions about Brayley in the chat, and let's cover that now because he's the only hooker that you'd purchase this week, and I guess people are looking at doing like Kalani going potentially dual to get Brayley in this week. Kez in the chat and a couple of others have been pretty vocal about the fact that Brayley's the best option for Keon via duels. What are your thoughts on that first, Matty? Like 700k Blake Brayley looking like a different man over the last, let's call it month, running the ball more. There's plenty to like. What are your thoughts?
Oh, he's built differently and he's been unreal, and those darts from dummy half have been fantastic, but I can't look at myself in the mirror and be happy with what I see and pay 700k for a hooker this year. I am just reserved to the fact that I missed the boat. This man was in the 400s at stages throughout the year. And I probably poo-pooed him a little earlier on in the year and went elsewhere. Probably rightfully so. Looking at some of his early on in the season scores, I'm just not 100% sure that like a matchup like St. George or the Cowboys or Souths or anything benefits Brayley. I just think, maybe a better matchup actually benefits Brayley. So, yeah. Because he's going to be making more tackles. It's going to be played through the middle a lot more.
Yeah, harder games for Brayley are probably where he tears up a little bit more. When they shift the ball, to the edges, it's probably where he can't benefit, right? When they're playing laterally instead of direct. Same like Reed Marnie. Josh, you're not as keen on Blake Brayley just, because of the price tag? I think we'd be having a very different conversation if he was at 570.
No, I'm just trying to gatekeep him from everyone else. We're paying 700k for a hooker. Like that feels absurd.
Thank you.
I get it. Like we have a 5-round average of 90, unreal. Officially, I checked today. Officially, the hook won on average, and probably points as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. But yeah, I don't know. I saw a thing that it was very funny that his contract is up and now all of a sudden he's just playing like prime Cam Smith. Mm-hmm. But I just probably can't. I know he's playing such a good role now. He's gone 300s in 5 weeks, and one of them was a 97. So he's effectively gone 400s in 5 weeks, and the draw does look very juicy. What happens if the attack doesn't come? It's a 48, it's a 44, it's a 53, it's a 55, it's a 63. We're basically gambling on a hooker to continue to get monumental attacking returns, which is not something that I can really vouch for.
I'm not buying a hooker for attacking upside ever. It's nice that we have him. We took a punt on him in round 1 and had to... what's that meme where if you can't have me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best? Yeah. That's where we're at right now with Blake Brayley. So if you haven't ridden the lows of lows with Blake Brayley all season, you don't deserve to buy him at 700k.
Or you just do an SC Deadly, and I think he sold him in round 15, where he then proceeded to go 102, 97, 48, 117, 108.
Jesus. Yeah, that's rough. That's feels like me selling Ponga last year in round 3.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that feels like.
To top it off, we sold and we bought Latrell, who then got suspended for 4 weeks the week after.
Yes. Yeah, that was... We had fun. We had fun, didn't we?
Fun times we had.
So Huddy, Hamoli, Paddy Carrigan have been spoken about. Isaiah Yeo is a man who hasn't been spoken about yet and is the second most purchased player in the top 10%, which I'm surprised at. I think it's maybe the price tag that people are appealed by, because if you look at his numbers and you based it on not the name, and Josh, I know you love doing this, where you would just go and give people 4 lots of stats and say pick the best option without the name, and you gave someone the stats of Isaiah Yeo, I can guarantee you he's the bottom of the list if you take the name away.
Of course, absolutely. I think I do it to take the piss half the time, because it's like, oh, this player's Naf White and the other one's Pat Carrigan and Naf White's outperforming him. But like sometimes it is best practice just to look at numbers in terms of averages, 5-round averages, COVs, and not put a name to it. In saying that, it's also hard to detach that it's Isaiah Yeo, who is a career 70 average kind of guy who's having a down season. And we've seen the Penrith draw, and then we sit there and ask ourselves, what if? Like, what if he turns it around? But what does a what if look like for Isaiah Yeo? Best case, is it like an 80 average for the run home? And that's all things going well. I as the great Randy Jackson once said, it's a no from me, dog. But I can see the appeal. But it's not for me. I just don't think the attack is running through the middle like it used to. It's now hitting Blaze. It's now hitting Casey McLean. It's now hitting Jenko. It's now hitting, people on the right like Tungo and Cleary and whatnot. So I just think it's now more base and less power for Isaiah Yeo.
Matty, is it more a matter of also, these nice games are great to look at, but for a middle forward playing a link man role for the most part, do you feel like that probably hinders his upside, or his at least that base power attack that could come through the middle for Yeo? I feel like there's going to be less of that if they're shifting to the edges more often than not against bad teams.
Yeah, I like to think if I look at his 2024 scores, it's BJ, and then 2025 is AJ, and it's before Jerome and after Jerome's left. And yeah, like he is that link man. He is playing a completely different role. The Panthers, we saw them really struggle at the start of the year because they've changed the structure of the team. Like one of the most important cogs in their team has moved on. I'd love to say to bigger and brighter things, but to things. And like Yo's just not the Supercoach asset that I want. And look at the stats, or honestly, just look at the game. And Yo is organising. Yo is doing completely different things which aren't conducive with Supercoach scoring.
You look at his scores over 60%, scores over 60 points this year. Compared to the last 3 seasons, he's gone 65% of his scores over 60, 71%, and 86%. That is the 3 seasons prior. And then he's dropped back down to 50% of his scores over 60, which just probably tells you that he is playing a different role this year. We've even seen Cleary probably playing a little bit of a different role as more of a first receiver who isn't benefiting as much from getting the try assists second off the ruck. So, yeah, I don't know. Yo, there's zero appeal for Yo, in my opinion. I'm not a fan. I'd buy Carrigan before him. I'd definitely get Huddy Young before him and spend the extra nearly 200k to get Huddy Young. And Hamoli comfortably. I would, even with the injury risk, I'd probably buy him as a punt more than Isaiah Yeo at the moment.
I mean, if you had 500k and you needed to get somebody to do a job because your trade in centre wing is to get Zach Lomax instead of getting, I don't know, insert average 500k centre wing, then yeah, just get him and it'll be fine. Like, it's not going to be awful. I just feel like we're doing these trades to try and hit it out of the park at this end of the year. And Isaiah Yeo isn't that.
Agreed. Everyone voting Yo in the poll now will void the poll. So do it at your own risk. Do it at your own risk.
The poll only is a thing unless it fits your narrative.
The poll is a thing when it's not tampered with. It's like the US election when Donald Trump first got elected. You
want to recount?
I will go for a recount. Absolutely. If Yo ends up winning that poll, I will not be following it. I promise you that. Aaron Clark is the next on the list. He's the 5th most purchased 2RF, the most owned 2RF out of this whole list. Obviously, we've lost all of our big owned guys, but Aaron Clark, Matty, has been your go-to. And we were speaking on the phone this morning, and I think, quote Mattrix, he is a delight to own.
Yeah. And look, if I could sing, I would really bang out Afternoon Delights at the moment, but I'm not going to. My concern is the NRL ladder. And if they lost last week, I would have got Aaron Clark. But I do just wonder if it's okay to give Aaron a little bit of a rest. And you had some really good stats that you put up on your Instagram. And it was his minutes. Was it when he plays over 60 minutes, he score compared to less than that?
Yeah, so 62 versus 74, I think it was.
Yeah, and my concern is they're now 4 points clear of the Broncos. If they're only 2 points clear of the Broncos, and of course you want a top 4 finish, to get those matchups at home, to get that big advantage. Probably the biggest gap, apart from, I suppose, being 8th or 9th, is between 4th and 5th when we get to finals. And 4 points is really hard to chase down. 2 points would have been relatively achievable for the Broncos to chase down in round 20. I do just wonder if they do cruise, if they win the matchups that they should win. And I know last week was a heart starter for the Warriors, but the Wires got up. Yeah, if they lost last week, I probably would have been keener on Aaron Clark than if they won, is probably the point I'm trying to get across. And due to that minutes, due to the fact that I think they can just rest him.
Josh, it's more a matter of the calf cramps and getting taken off twice last week. So he had 2 different stints. Do you think they're managing him a little bit now? Because he's been playing big minutes in the middle of the park all season.
I just think Andrew Webster saw that I bet he's over and play performance and just hairfed him. I think I tweeted about it. Obviously it didn't go well with Throme, but I tweeted about it 2 weeks ago. I just think with these middle forwards that are put through so much work, it's very tough to ask for that for 24 weeks out of the year. I just think there could be 5-minute regression. We came out at the start of the season, minutes 46, 46, 44. That's BDW before Dylan Walker. And then afterwards, it was 61, 64, 69, 65, 71, high 60s. And now, basically, since round 13, it's been 55, 49, 64, 66, 60, 61. So it's been slowly on the down. I would suspect he probably finishes averaging around 60 minutes, but the PPM at 1.12 has come down as well. Hasn't gone above 1.12. He's missed that sort of 2 out of the last 4 weeks. Does have relatively friendly matchups against the Titans and Dolphins, and that don't have massive packs, RCG and Tino, and that's really it. Dolphins don't have many, and the Dogs, we know that they run a smaller pack as well. So I just think he's probably lower on the totem pole than me. I think he's he is just a more expensive Pat Carrigan.
Yep.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with you. I'd buy Pat Carrigan over Clark, personally.
So would I, especially Clark 700k.
And both are a delight.
Good. I was hoping we were going to continue with a song.
I would rather buy Brayley for 700 over Clark.
Okay, yeah, fair call. I'd probably agree. All right, so there's one more player I guess we can talk in relevance of purchase this week, and that's Angus Crichton, 590k. He's 22% owned in the top teams. He's 2.3% purchased this week, number 6 at 2RF. We'll move through the final 5 pretty quick after Gus, but what are your thoughts on Gus? I mean, Sam Walker back is the narrative. I guess if you want to create a narrative, Sam Walker hopefully can get the best out of him on the left edge. In saying that, though, I mean, it doesn't look like many people are overly keen. I think maybe the purchase was a couple of weeks ago, and then he's gone low. He scored 67 last week with a try, which is nearly unheard of for Gus.
69 giggity, that's poor from you.
Sorry, 69 giggity with a try. yeah, for me, I don't know. I'd probably want one of the others. I'd probably pay up for Huddy if I wanted to, rather than Gus. What are your thoughts on Gus, Josh? Any love at all anymore, or is it the better options?
I think you boys saw it. I put up a 2RF poll. Well, not poll, but like line graph of scores this season. I ranked 4 of them. And out of that 4, I don't know what I'm missing in the chat. Out of that 4, Crichton was the most owned. Rooster's Draw is worse than Mattrix beer selection. Avoid. Yeah, on the 0 carb Carlton Dries. Rogue.
But he's a temple type stuff.
Yeah,
dude, it's like drinking water.
Yeah, and then just drink water then. Don't be a half-assed. But no, I put up like a bar graph of like 2RFs within a similar price point this season, and I asked people to vote on them, as I generally do. And Angus Crichton was in that poll, and he was the most owned player, but the least voted on people who they want. The most voted on was actually Kai Pearce-Paul, who was 0.2% owned. So I think it just shows you that people are probably putting more stock into narrative and pedigree rather than performance. And yeah, 67 last week with a try was off a kick. So no line break attached to it. But I just think there's better options. Like I think Angus it's tough because he's been so up and down. Obviously had the mental health struggles where he averaged career low, came back and averaged nearly 70 last year. And now it's sort of sitting around the mid 50s. I just think we don't have enough trades to be taking these speculations. Obviously ironic because I'm vouching for Hamole, but I just think Hamole is more proven this year over Angus.
Yeah, I think I'd agree. The guys we've already mentioned I'd be buying before Angus. I just feel like normally you would expect 80 plus with a try for Gus, and just seeing 69 is just, as much as I love the number 69, not for me. All right, we've got 5, let's call them pods. 5 pods, 5 people that are less than 1% purchase this week that people aren't looking at. So we've got a few flyers to go with you. We've got Beau Fermor, we've got Teague Wilton, we've got Jeremiah Nanai, Leka Halasima, and Jaden Sewer. They're probably the 5 guys that if you want to take a punt on someone who could probably match these guys at the top, you could go in that direction. Very quick rapid fire thoughts, Mattrix, on Beau Fermor. 23% owned. 627k though, so pretty penny for Beau Fermor on a bad team.
Yeah, huge Beau Fermor fan. I love the Gold Coast for everything but how they play in football.
I was going to say, yeah, that's where it ends.
Yep.
And how they play. Yep. Josh, thoughts on Fermor?
You said rapid fire.
Good, perfect. All right. No one's looking at these guys. They're sub 2.1% owned. Teague Wilton. I know people would prefer Britton Nickera, Josh, but any love for Teague Wilton on the other side? Well, you can't purchase Nickera this week.
Nice. I don't know if that came through. Nice. Look, I like Teague Wilton. I think he's an okay purchase. Sharks draw is kind of good. He's 486k for a reason. I'd buy him if I need the cash, but not like priority. Yeah,
the sub 500k category has 2 players in it this week, and it's Teague Wilton and Jeremiah Nanai. Who's your preference, Matty, out of those 2?
Teague Wilton. Yeah, I actually like the Sharks draw. Teague, without looking, because it's rapid fire, has a bit more base than Nanai. He's somebody that I could get around if I needed a budget baller to go get a Lomax or something in centre wing if I'm spending 2 trades.
Teague's also not coached by Todd Payton, Matty.
Oh, that's you've got me there.
Yeah, Craig Fitzgibbon.
Fitzgibbon's so much better.
Flying under the radar fraud of all time, that's for sure. Jeremiah Nanai, Josh, 1.2% owned, 484k. I'm one of those 1.2%. I feel a bit sad about it, but he was a bee's dick away from 80 plus last week. He nearly broke the line 3 times, nearly scored. I'm going to create as many narratives as possible to make it feel like it was a good purchase. To make it feel like it was a me sleep at night. It does make me sleep.
I also vouch for it. I still vouch for it. It went super close last week, so I still think he's a fine purchase.
For sure. Leka Halasima, do you feel like Leka Halasima is just Jeremiah Nanai in disguise? I feel like they're like the same player.
I think Leka Halasima is Penrith Villanova Kickout. Like, unreal, heaps of hype, averages 47.
I mean, I feel he scored like 5 tries in 6 weeks and still's cracked 80 once.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like there's no base there at all. His scores of, 60, 67, 40, 45, 82, 76. In those, he's had 5 tries in like 6 weeks.
He's Penrith with the army kick out.
And when he didn't score against Penrith, he scored 40. He scored a try against the Broncos and scored 45.
Matty,
Do you know what you do get?
I can help you out with this one.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
Do you know what you do get? Fucking vibes, though. That guy is him.
Massive vibes.
Fucking massive
Huge
vibes.
vibes. Yeah.
Warriors have a good draw too, I guess, if you want to create a narrative.
The thing with Lecker is he the first player to have low floor, low ceiling?
Oh, man. So
That's what I look for in a Supercoach player.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Except it's like sometimes shit and sometimes okay.
Less shit. No, but like he's just like he's like a highlights player, and that's what makes this so cool because he's got a low floor, low ceiling, but looks fucking cool.
Yeah, ultimate
It's like
vibes pick.
Yeah, he's like a Harlem Globetrotter. Move on.
Jaden Sewer.
Hang on. Leka Halasima is the guy that your dad will tell you to start with next year in Supercoach because he's heard of him.
Yeah, rate that.
Yeah,
Rate that.
That tells me to get Toby Rudolph every year.
Is your favourite player Toby Rudolph? Every year. Jaden Sewer, 641k, fuck all owned, no one's buying. Coming off a couple of decent scores, I guess, into a 50 odd. I think he's like top 5 in BP at 2RF this year, so very respectable scoring, very respectable floor. He just plays for the Dragons.
Yeah, I mean, like to quote, what's that guy? It's JC. I don't want to add anybody who has Kyle Flanagan in the halves.
Oh,
except he said,
yeah.
He said it a bit. I just don't
more
want to
aggressively.
Yeah.
No, good very good decision. We like YouTubing.
Back on Leka Halasima, Paul Walter. So he's the Vince Carter of the NRL. What a comp.
Yeah.
Blake Griffin vibes. Yeah. Okay, I can get around
Your
that.
favorite player's favorite player.
Yeah, love that.
Detroit Blake Griffin vibes though.
Oh, Jesus. All right, that'll do us. That's 2RF done. Hot topic done, out of the way. You haven't helped me at all if you were trying to convince me, but let's actually do a quick check of the poll because it's... give me a second. I've got to try and find it.
PSG just compared him to DeAndre Jordan, which I feel is absolutely huge.
That is a stray of all strays. That is rotten.
No, like Clippers DeAndre. That man cooked.
The poll, Huddy is leading the poll on 31%, Hamoli 29%, so it's still pretty close, 77 votes, so there's still a bit of time left. Huddy in the lead.
And vote for Yo.
Yes, yeah. I mean,
you might get some John Tay Porter unreal betting patterns happening with the Yo votes when there's about 50 that come in the next 10 minutes.
Sorry, but whenever we talk about betting and taking the piss, right, it's him. Malik Beasley's under the microscope at the moment, but how does Terry Rozier never get mentioned about betting scandals?
I thought you were going to say
he got cleared, bro.
Bullshit. Go back and look. At there was apparently someone put like fucking 25 bets on for Terry Rozier in a 50-minute period pre-game, and then he fucking wrapped up with like 9 minutes with a undisclosed foot injury to finish that game. Bullshit. He's up there with the rest of them.
I thought you were going to compare it to NRL betting players such as David Wolfman Williamson from Manly, who got done for betting on himself to win the Canova medal, and West Tigers winger Tim Simona. Remember, he got done.
Throwback. Yeah.
He got done to bet on games.
Yeah.
The difference between Wolfman was he was betting to be good.
Yeah,
he wasn't throwing games. That's what you call betting on yourself. He probably saw that someone say that you got to bet on yourself, man. You got to back yourself in, and he's taking it literally.
And he's like, oh, fuck, what's Ned's doing? Back then, he probably had to walk into the local TAB to do it though, like wearing like a wig or something.
Sunglasses. No one knows that it's him. Let's move on to trade trends for this week.
Target acquired.
Trade trends.
Before we start,
here's the man.
We have missed an $8 super chat from Ryan Hammond with his customary. Would you rather have your laundry never fully dry and always be slightly damp? I don't even need to read the rest of the fucking question. I don't want this. Or your dishes always be slightly dirty. Oh no, 100% dishes are dirty is fine. But if it's my filth, like that's cool. But I'm not sitting in a fucking wet jumper. That's cooked. It smells.
You definitely don't have kids, Matty. Have you seen dirty dishes after feeding kids?
Yeah, my dishwasher broke the other day, and like kids love spaghetti bolognese, but I tell you what, there's nothing worse than if you don't do the dishes just correctly, and it's still got like a line of like suddenly all your dishes are peach or terracotta in color. That's rough.
No, hang on. Braino, you played cricket growing up. How many times did you forget to wash your whites? You had to throw them in the washer at 9 o'clock in the morning, and you're standing there at cover in like wet whites.
I can comfortably say
You've never had wet white. I've had wet white. It's the worst.
This may be really bad to admit, but I have never in my life had to clean my whites.
Your whites.
Never once. My mum did it every fucking weekend. And to be fair, I was lucky enough to be sponsored, so I had like 10 pairs. So I just
weird flex.
It's the one thing that I was good at in my life was cricket. So yeah, cricket friends. I'm in the always slightly dirty dishes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me.
You went wet monologue about fucking having kids, and you're like, oh no, actually, we'll decide with him.
No, too.
I mean, sit. Imagine sitting down I sometimes get home from work, have a 7 o'clock basketball game, and have to run me gear through the old washing machine. And you got the windows open, you got it in the back seats. It's rough. You know what? When you hit your mid-30s, the chafe that comes with wearing wet clothes, it is not pretty.
You're jealous, crafty fat boy. He's jealous. And he's also angry at me because I still refuse to change the stinger for the captains. But you know what? You might take that back this week. So just hold out 10, 15 minutes and you might be happy with what you hear and you might take it back.
Before I matured in life, I obviously dabbled in the share house experience where, I've done some very questionable things with dishes. I've eaten noodles out of a saucepan lid because I was too lazy to wash up. So just the lid, and took it to my room and just ate noodles off the glass lid.
Nah. Okay, fair enough. Now I know why you answered the way you did.
Josh was kind of fucking crazy.
Holy shit. Okay, that's good. I'm glad I found that about you. I guess that it's very fitting as well that Ryan Hammond in the chat threw in a super chat. Thanks for your donation, mate.
I owe you one, champ.
And Matty has to skull every single time Hamo does a super chat. That is the rules across the show, as you can see there. It made him pretty crook last week as well, Hamo. You'd be pretty happy to know.
I texted him.
Yeah, good. But funnily enough, Trade Trends is also brought to you by Mr. Ryan from Astute Newstead. For those of you that don't know, Ryan can help you out when it comes to getting your home loan sorted. So we've had another rate cut from the RBA. Very, very good news. So if your rates are above 5.65% is the number, you want to buy your first home, maybe you want to renovate or just save some cash, then this man in the chat here is your guy. Don't ask him any questions in the chat, though. He doesn't like it. So keep them for later. Does all the heavy lifting, though, most of the time. He will do all the work for you, just not in the live chat. Over 40 lenders on panel, including all those major banks to get you the best deal. No obligation, though. You don't have to pay him. He gets paid by the bank, so he does all the work for you for free to get you the best deal. So you can book your consult, hit him up and ask him more silly questions if you'd really like to by hitting the link below in the chat there and in the description. You can make your inquiry there. Let's have a chat about the top trade trends. We've probably covered the majority of them in 2RF, but the most purchased player in the top 10% at the moment is Dylan Edwards. I guess followed very closely by his teammate Nathan Cleary. Mattrix, thoughts on both of these guys first up? I mean, Dylan Edwards is a Ryan Pappenhausen replacement, I'm assuming, and Nathan Cleary is a very fine buy this week, regardless of goal kicking, in my opinion.
Yeah, my issue is if you have Nico Hines and Jerome Hughes, I don't think Nathan Cleary is a trade-in. Maybe not goal kicking, probably not goal kicking. Whatever happens there, cool. Unless you have Ryan Pappenhausen, I don't think Dylan Edwards is a buy. Look, yeah, I really like the Panthers matchup, but I'm not trading. And I've seen so many teams that have, your Teddies, your Drinkwater, your Reece Walshes. Honestly, it's a yes from me as long as you're trading Pappy to one of these guys. Or you don't have... yes, I would rather trade in Cleary than Jerome Hughes. But if I have Jerome Hughes, I'm not seeing the bump, especially with an injured Cleary, with a Schneider lurking on the bench. I'm not seeing a big enough bump to warrant Hughes to Cleary. And it's just I suppose me playing safe with letting my listeners know that I don't think that that's a worthy trade unless it's basically Pappy or anyone but Nico or Hughes to Cleary.
Yeah, agreed. Josh, do you agree with that?
Yeah, I'm just looking at the popular trades, and like Edwards for Keon makes sense. Edwards for Tino makes sense. It's not for any other full. And Pappenhausen, but it's not for any other fullback for me personally.
Yeah, I agree. Payne Haas is number 3 in the purchase list. 13% of people bringing him in. That brings him up to 88%, totally owned in the top 10% of teams. This is an interesting one because we haven't talked about him at all. Is he your Keon replacement if you don't have him?
Definitely a no for me, dog.
Okay. Yes for Mattrix, no for Josh. Talk through it, Josh. But you're not. Is it the injury cloud, and you're just happy to sit and you know he won't hurt you for now?
I guess. I mean, like, I assume people had Keon as like front row forward too, and it makes sense then. But like, we've all got May, and then what? If you have May and AFB, I think you could fade Haas with the injury cloud. Like, is that crazy to say?
A little.
Okay.
I still don't think Payne Haas on one leg scores as low as AFB.
No,
and yeah, but like, I was more thinking like people. I don't know. You'd be the same. How many messages do you get asking if AFB's a trade after his 3-round average of 45 at the moment? Like, yeah, I'm probably fine to play AFB, but Payne Haas is still the best trade in for Keon if you can.
Okay, let's say that you have who's another good front row forward that like
there isn't one.
Tarpany?
But it's probably a duel like Aaron Clark or
no. Okay,
Patrick
so let's say you have Clark. Let's say you've got like Carrigan already. You got Clark already with May. Would you rather Haas or Lomax via Jules?
Lomax for upside.
I'd rather Lomax than anyone.
I think there's also there's merit, right, in looking at it going, we're going to have to antipod someone on the run home. Like, you can't get all of these top-owned guys. Sorry, is he the guy?
I may have said something crazy, but like this is even crazier. Sarge Bear says,
Yeah.
Sarge Bear says, Haas is going to average 90 on the run home. That's...
No, not for me.
78.7, but it's going to be the best 78.7.
I honestly think it's like 75, which is like breaking even, which is fine, but I'd rather take some upside than center wing. If you can't get a center wing, then get Haas. Sure.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
it's just such a long... It's just such a long way with Jules with the way that there's no real 2RF center wing nuffs this year. Like, I hadn't even considered... I was looking at Keon for a 2RF and a front row forward, and I think Payne Haas is the best option.
Sorry, can I take you in a Ewan Aitken? Like, please put some respect on the man.
I mean, nuffs. They're probably as valuable as Ewan Aitken.
Sorry.
Max coming in saying Haas is going to outscore Lomax on the run home.
Disagree as a Payne Haas #1 fan over here, but I appreciate
I'm not sure. I'm not tolerating this Ewan Aitken slander. What other center wing just put up 65 BP at center?
Yeah, it just doesn't happen, unless you're Kaylee Rowe, and that's it. So, Ewan Aitken the GOAT. Blake Brayley, #4. We've given our thoughts on Blake Brayley. I can get around it, pending the situation, what your team looks like. Still fine, just not. It just feels a little bit dirty to buy a 700k hooker, but that's fine. You do you. We gave our thoughts on Young. We gave our thoughts on Lomax. We gave our thoughts on Yo, Olakau'atu, Carrigan, and Clark, and Gus. There's your 11 top trades for this week. Most of them 2RFs, but I think, look, you can't really go wrong with Edwards or Cleary. You can't go wrong with Haas, I think, on the run home, but I can get around anti-podding him if you really need to. Blake Brayley's fine pending the situation. So there's some good purchases. It's wide open this week as well. There's no 40-45% lockdown must-buy player this week. It's pretty open, pretty much across the whole of SuperCoach.
I think you make a good point about like anti-podding. It's like ranked in the top 10%. Haas is 88% owned. Like if you're in the 12%, like are you moving the needle? Is Haas a league winner? I
mean, look, you might be, but following the crowd on a move that really isn't going to do. I don't think it's going to do too much for you. How much can he really hurt you with like 110, 120 plus? Yeah, he can. But nowhere near as much as a guy at centre wing that can probably hit those heights a little bit more than I think Haas can. So, tricky situation, but I think you've got to antipod someone. It might be him if you don't own him by now. It's been a fucking rough year if you haven't, that's for sure. Let's have a very quick chat about the sells because most of them are pretty locks. Keon, Pappy, Lucas, Tino, even Billy Smith, Holmes. They're all trade outs. They're all injured, so that's completely fine. Even if you have Isaiah Yongi, he's a trade out too. Matty, Marky Mark and Teddy are the two here that are sitting in that top 10 that I could question. Thoughts on either of those guys as trade outs? I think Teddy's the one that can hurt you, but I actually really don't mind holding Marky Mark as well.
Yeah, I think they're holds. Like in this week's matchup isn't the best, but tell me you don't expect them to score well against the Dolphins, against Manly. Like there's some pretty good matchups still for these guys. Like genuine captaincy options for Teddy and blokes like that. I'm a bit scared not owning Teddy. So, yeah, look, they've still played round 25. They play Parramatta. Round 26, they've got Melbourne again, which could be without their stars. Like, yeah, maybe I'm looking for a narrative, but like these guys are the captain options in round 27. That's what I was looking for.
Teddy is automatic captaincy option against Souths in round 27 when the season's over. They're already in Cancun. And the Roosters are looking to prove a point coming into the finals. Like that. Imagine not owning Teddy against Souths in the final round of the year.
Yep. Yeah, I can, because I probably won't. But if I have one trade left, it will be for Teddy in round 27.
Rate it. I think you have to do it for sure. That's pretty much the sells. Now, Crafty Fat Boy, where are you? Get in the chat because it is now time for captains.
Go captain, my captain. Go captain, my captain.
That's
You
shit.
are welcome.
Put it back. That's shit.
Exactly my thoughts for the last fucking 18 months.
So,
but
so shit. What the...
in the NBL SuperCoach show, Matty and Hammer love it. Crafty Fat Boy in the chat loves that. Bit of Dead Poet Society. Have you watched Dead Poet Society, Josh?
Yeah.
No, I think we established I didn't even know what it was.
Oh, yeah, you're right. You haven't.
Culture, bro.
1989.
of
I was
Robin
not even
Williams
a
for you.
speckle in my father's eye.
It's I can appreciate a bit of Robin Williams, and I like the movie,
It's great.
but I'm a SpongeBob guy through and through. So-
Maverick teacher John Keating returned in 1959 to the prestigious New England boys' boarding school where he was once a star student. It's a no from me, dog.
It's actually a really good movie. You need to watch it. Trust me.
Well, not according to IMDb. It was only an 8.1 out of 10.
Oh, sorry. We're looking at Rotten Tomatoes 9.5 out of 10, are you? Only watches 9.5 out of 10.
IJ Talker says, this is ruined, Cap. This is ruined. My day is ruined.
I'm just trying to make everyone happy, all right? I can't please everyone. Sorry, RJ, but it's Crafty Fat Boys Day.
Next year, we're going to have a new Patreon tier where it's going to cost you a little bit more, but you get to pick which thing it is for that week.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good shout.
Yeah, drop it like it's hot. It's coming back.
Yeah, let's talk captains. I guess for me, there's only really 4 games that I'm looking at for captaincy this week. It is the Cowboys versus the Dragons. It's the Broncos versus Para. It's Penrith versus the West Tigers, and it is the Sharks versus South. Matty, talk to us first of all about the Cowboys against the St. George Illawarra Dragons, and tell me why Ed Drinkwater should be the most vice captain player this week.
Oh, I actually kind of like Welsh versus Para, but I do love Drinky against St. George. It's only because Broncos have kind of been humming and Cowboys have kind of been cowboysing. Just to land another stray. I heard people saying that in the chat earlier, but I mean, Drinky will get his. He scored 87 in a loss last week. It just depends, like how much you rate St. George and how much you rate North Queensland. And for me, this is the toilet bowl of this week.
Do you agree, Josh? Is it one of those ones that you avoid completely? Like Drinky
Yeah, no,
surely does some damage.
I hate both these teams. So
Thank you.
I hope it's a 0-0 draw. Fuck both clubs. Yeah, no, I'm terrified to not own Drinky. We got rinse and repeat for 21 weeks, but especially this week. But yeah, there's a couple of others. There's another low floor pretty boy. It's Reece Walsh up against the Parramatta Eels. Eels missing Iongi. Got Footy Dean in the halves. Dylan Brown must just canate. And you get benched for Footy Dean. I can understand Josh Papali'i, but like crazy. But yeah, Reece Walsh up against Para. I'm in a conundrum with Matty because I'm looking at old Deadwoods into Hines, but I'm also looking at Walsh into Deadwood, so it's a bit of a lose-lose. But what do we think of Walsh against Parramatta? I'll ask you first, Braino, because you're not biased.
No, well, I mean, I am because I own Walsh as well. If I wasn't going to go Drinky, that's the obvious option. I think I'd probably prefer Drinky just with the goal kicking. It is at QCB. Jackson Purdue is back in the centres. He's not at 6, so I feel like that's probably a better scenario for Drinky as well. Just no Jake Clifford is the little cherry that we're missing on the top of the cake there for Drinky. But in a nutshell, I think it's Tom Duffy's going to be getting the ball to Drinky. That's the only question mark is, does he goal kick with Tom Duffy in the team?
Jacob Gagai Duffy.
Yeah, he's back from the dead. Back. Yeah. Does he goal kick over Duffy? Or you reckon Duffy gets it?
Probably imagine Duffy would.
Duffy's a really good... He had the goal kicking when he came back. That was kind of his vibe, right?
Maybe. I mean...
Duffy kicked in round 1.
He could kick. Yeah, he kicked in round 1. It's round 21. So anything can happen.
Duffy's the reason why I didn't end up going Drinkwater, because I was so keen on him in the preseason. Absolute fraud.
Actually, yeah, Chris Gray's on the money. Duffy goal kicks to the left of the posts and Drinky does the rest, especially the ones from in front. And that's what we want. He's hates a goal kick from in front.
I might bring Duffy in this week.
Is Drinky the Angel Reese of the NRL?
Oh, Jesus.
Just some knee downs.
Can you really... I mean, the fact that Angel Reese has made her way onto an NRL SuperCoach podcast is great in itself. But it could also be the biggest slap in the face as well.
To Angel Reese?
To anyone compared to Angel Reese.
They probably...
I don't know, man.
I don't know.
No, sorry. If you're sitting there fucking putt shot and goal kicks right in front, you deserve all the slander you get.
I watched the WNBA All-Star game and their warm-up tees, and they're probably paid the same too. So,
yes,
they could be. Yeah, look, you're making me double think Drinky now. So he's locked in for 130. I'll rate Walsh against Parra.
I'd go Drinky over Walsh, 100%.
Cool. Sounds good. I'm going Walsh.
I'm debating Walsh over Hines, effectively.
Oh. I rate Nico against Souths this week. Like, I just think that Nico's probably... If you don't own any of these Penrith guys, I reckon he could be the guy.
Yeah. For me, it's 2 into 3, and one of them is Dylan Edwards, so it's Walsh versus Hines. But what do we say? We open up the app and we check whose house they're playing.
Yeah, is that the new rule?
I don't know.
Who are the Gold Coast Titans playing? The Warriors. So do we captain Aaron Clark this week? Darren Latani-Zelezniak? You guys have RTS, don't you?
RTS captain?
Yeah, I have RTS, yeah.
Might buy Chance Nickel Clockstad this week.
What's up?
I don't want to vote on vibes, but I'm going to be at the Broncos Parramatta game, and I could be absolutely insufferable if you're in section about 309. If Reece Walsh starts scoring.
Let's talk probably the most important one, because unfortunately, SuperCoach have yet to find a way to vice captain and captain a player from the same team. So it will be one of Cleary or Edwards. And for me, I don't think this one's relatively close.
I'm on Edwards over Cleary comfortably. Yep. Yeah. It comes down to Cleary's role, right? Like we've talked a lot over the last few weeks about Cleary being the man that gets the ball at first receiver, right? So he's the one doing a lot of the setting up. He frees up Blaze Talangi. He's getting the ball to Dylan Edwards in the sweep plays, who's getting the try assist. Cleary gets the try contribution. For me, and especially when I think that there's a very low chance that Cleary kicks goals this week, and if Cleary doesn't kick goals, Edwards has them. I think it's a pretty easy decision in the end if you have Edwards. And I am shitting myself again, yet again, coming into not owning Edwards and him playing against the Tigers. So I could
Are
be
you guys
double
going?
hurt this week.
Where is it at Combank?
No, I'm not going to this game. I like going to games where I think we're a chance.
Okay, cool. So that's why you haven't been for 10 weeks.
It's been a while. That's why we went to the Roosters game. Shout out to the Roosters. Thanks for giving us that dub. And it's thanks to Aman. We should shout out Aman more than anything for getting us in. But yeah, anything to add on captains? It's pretty clear cut at the moment. Drinky, Walsh, Cleary, Edwards, Nico. Anybody else? Any smokies?
Yeah, those guys that are throwing out AFB because of the narrative of his 200th game. Oh, I'm going to get burnt here. Give yourself an uppercut. I'm just not about that.
I'm running the narrative that he'll score more than 52.
Yeah.
The narrative ends.
God.
I love it. I posted on Instagram today, and the ones that come in was AFB. Like, people are like, oh, what about AFB in his 200th game? No, it has to be one of these 4 guys. I own all 4 of these guys, and I don't know what to do, but it's not AFB. I'll tell you that for free.
Absolutely not a chance. Chris Gray with the narrative again. We love, Chris Gray would fit in perfectly here. He knows we love a narrative. Terrell May to be the captain. Narrative around the May boys playing against Penrith. Luai, Taruva, Staines.
Not even the right May to put a narrative against.
No. Okay, are you going to captain Taylor May?
It's just a Taylor narrative, surely.
Yeah.
So are we captaining Luai then? That's the narrative.
No, because Taylor was axed. Luai left civilly.
Actually, that's true. Yep.
Taylor was dumped.
Well, I mean, yeah, he would have been dumped from many times.
Now we're the rebound.
We are. But it's the Penrith Panthers versus the Penrith Tigers this weekend. It's going to be a really good matchup. I'm looking forward to that one. And Nico against Souths. I think because I don't own either of the Penrith guys, I think it's a pretty easy call for me to go either Walsh or Drinky into a Nico C. That's pretty much where it ends, I think. I think you're out thinking the room a little bit if you're looking in other directions. I'm sure you've owned 2 out of those 5.
Can I just say, Tavita Totola, Sean Kepi, Lachlan Hubner, Liam LeBlanc, Jacob Host, Ryan Gray, and the best Ward, Ashton Ward. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Ashley Deadly. If the Sharks are not fucking laying a platform and putting 4,000 points on them, Fitzy needs to... Yeah. Go.
Yes.
They should... Okay, so I'm captaining Will Kennedy this week. Got it.
Souths do concede the most points to fullbacks this year, so Will Kennedy is the easiest purchase ever. It's just lock him in, buy, hold, and sell. Anyway, reminder, guys, if we get 200 likes, we'll release the buy, hold, and sell video that goes out to Patreon only. We will do that for you. And make sure, after this live is finished, hop in the comments, let us know who you think is going to be the top scorer this week. Whoever gets closest, picks the player and gets closest, wins a Patreon sub for NRL for the rest of this season for the run home. So we'll be doing that pretty much every week with different stuff you can get involved in, so keep an eye out there for. And another reason to watch the live show every single Wednesday as well. We'll be doing these giveaways as we go.
And we also have a Bolter bet. We have our Ronaldo versus Katoa Bolter bet.
Oh, we do too. We do too.
This week. Yeah.
Did I miss that?
Yeah.
On the Q&A, Braino was like, "Oh, buy Ronaldo. What do you think?" And I was like, "I'd rather Katoa." And so let's do a Bolter bet for who scores most.
Yeah. Are we doing run home or just this week?
No, we'll just do for now until 28, 27.
Okay. Cool.
Do you owe me some Bolter, Josh? What do you owe me Bolter for?
Kai Donald.
Yes, yeah. Cool.
That's Corey John Bateman.
I never forget a fruity beer bet. So
yeah.
Love it. Also, I am officially buying Hudson Young this week. He tops the list at 31% of the vote, which is a little boring because he's the most popular.
Is that what you were going to do?
No.
What did you want to do?
He was going to do Hamoli.
I was going to do Hamoli. Yeah, I was going to do Hamoli this week. He was 28%, Huddy 31. So thankfully, didn't Ange, shout out to you. It didn't ruin the bet. Yeah, didn't have as much sway as you thought, hey? Wheels up, Huddy Young this week, and let's just hope that he doesn't break down and ruin me. I ended the vote before I announced it, so sucked in. You can't go and sway it. I know what you guys are up to.
Sucked in, you can't. That was weird.
You can't vote anymore.
Whoops.
No, guys, that'll do us. Thanks for getting involved in the chat. The chat's been popping off as it always does. We'll keep giving stuff away as we do for the run home. Good luck this week. It's wide open this week. Plenty of different trades to make if you still have trades left. And hopefully you can find some green arrows for this week. 200 likes, and we'll give you buy, hold, sell tomorrow. Catch you then.
Cheerio.